And with that, good evening, everyone. Apologies for running a little late. As was advertised prior to this meeting, we had our budget workshop of the year, and it was quite detailed, so here we are. I would like at this point to call this workshop session of the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors to order. And you're not on the agenda, Mr. Judd, but would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as I just announced, we did have a public budget workshop session prior to this meeting, and the supervisors will be in executive session to discuss personnel issues, human resources issues following this meeting. With that, is there any public comment on an item not on the agenda this evening? Anybody with a public comment not on the agenda this evening? Okay. With that, we will go to the first item on the agenda, which is a presentation of the Lower Paxton Community Foundation. Mrs. Polly Murphy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me. All right.
Oh, good, good.
Okay. About a year ago, I came and told you that a bunch of us were starting a foundation to help the community of Lower Paxton. That's nice.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. We found out in the Lingelstown 250 just how great Lower Paxton people are and how involved they got, how much fun they had, how they wanted to keep doing this. So we started the Lower Paxton Community Foundation, and of course, part of the fundraising will be fun events. And so I'd like to bring you up to date on our fun events. Our first one is the spooky stories to tell in the park in the dark. And that is going to be at Brightville Park, October 12th at 6:30. And Heroes Grove is there, but that's too bright and shiny. So we're going to use a pavilion with trees around it. We have some fantastic storytellers that are going to get up there. We have ages 5 to 12, and of course their families or parents. We don't want them dropping their kids off. St. Thomas Roasters is giving us hot chocolate. We're going to have cookies and donuts and cider, and just make a fun, about an hour and a half. That's all it's going to be. You may get your tickets online at our new website. It's lopaxfoundation.com, LOPAXfoundation.com, and everything can be done right there. Then in December, we're having our big event. We're having a real German outdoor market in the center of Lingelstown. We're having the Lower Paxton Chris Kindle Market. And these started back in the 1400s, and they're going on all over the world right now. We're going to have singers. We're going to have the Living Nativity. It's all up on there. We're going to have vendors. We've got them all lined up. And we're going to have, you can do your Christmas shopping there. You can put it right off to the 14th and get everything you want there. Everything will be homemade and beautiful.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God,
Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Oh, my
Goodness! Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Hope you get a raise at Christmas.
Oh, hey Santa, will you go up behind him?
Oh, it's food.
Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, food.
Food.
You want something? Merry Christmas, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Mr. John.
Thank you, Santa.
Oh, I
Robin.
remember you. We go way back. How you doing, Mr. Paxton? Merry Christmas. Good to see you.
To the
Go
1400s.
behind him.
Oh, no, look, I love the dance.
Hey Santa, you want to go up behind us so we can get a picture of you?
There we
Who is that?
Have your big wins there, Mr. Murphy.
Oh my gosh. And this, gentleman, is why the bathroom was out of order.
It's why the bathroom is out of order.
Yes.
Santa thought it was a chimney and got stuck.
Oh, you don't have reindeer in there, do you?
Oh, not yet. Okay, part of the fundraising for the Lower Paxton Chris Kindle Mart is a gingerbread club, hence our gingerbread men. It's only $100.
You've been
And
gaveled
you
out
get-
of order by the gingerbread. The gingerbread men women were gaveling you out of order.
Oh, how dare you?
How dare they? Yeah.
How dare they? I'm looking for new members.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
So, look at this. Check it out, guys.
Oh, there they
So
go.
if you know anybody that would like to join this, or you would like to join it, you get a wonderful decoration to commemorate the first year, and a lot of privileges as well. Well, thank you, Santa. Wow. Get up there, Santa. So that'll be on the 14th. It'll be from 10 in the morning to 5 in the evening. Anybody have any questions for any of us?
I have my membership.
Yes, you did join, didn't you?
I have my, and I
Oh,
have
there's
my
number
membership.
I know. I ended up with number 2.
Yes.
So I have to try harder next year to be number 1.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Why are we pointing at them?
See if they have
Ask-
memberships.
We
Are they
do.
coming?
We do.
We do?
We do.
We have memberships.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good.
All right.
Remember, December
14th.
Want to see you all there. No excuses, because Santa is watching.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chris,
Santa.
that's
Merry
the direct
Christmas.
line to my office. We go way back. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you,
Santa.
Santa.
Were you naughty, Mr. Christmas?
Thanks
Never.
for coming, Santa.
He was there when Santa was born. That was.
Gotcha, gotcha. Is there any questions, anything you need to know? Would you please promote our club? And everything is on lopaxfoundation.com. Okay? Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
Polly.
Polly.
Polly, that is the most creative presentation I've ever seen at a public meeting. That was great. Thank you. And congratulations. We're really looking forward to these events.
Yes, so are we. And we must control that weather in December.
Well, we'll have a talk with a certain meteorologist who likes to frequent our events. So, Mr. Russell.
He may be the MC at this event.
Oh, he's the MC? So Tom Russell's in charge of good weather for it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And we do have snow plows.
And long
We don't want to
johns.
use snow plows.
Not that early.
Set up, we want to knock it down.
Okay. Ms. Urban, you have a very difficult act to follow here. Do you have dancers to go with your presentation, or
I do not.
you do not?
Did you want to use taxpayer dollars for that?
No. Okay, so now we're going to have a presentation on our new lowerpaxtonnetwork.com and Civic Ready.
So I'm going to reverse the two of these and give you the mass notification update first. If you could go to slide 2. Mr. Gutschall, can you go to slide 2? That's okay. So you'll see 2 images here. The first is to represent the Alert Me app that people can go on their smartphones and download to have access to our mass notification system. The second image is what appears on our homepage currently, where people can click on that to sign up through the website. So what's happened so far is staff has been trained, including our police department and our sewer department. Generic lists have been created that people can go on and sign up for event lists, for sewer, mini basin projects, for Parks and Rec. So there's a multitude of lists that are available for people to check off as in regards to what information they'd like to receive. There has been internal testing that's been completed. We've tested the phone call, the text message, the landline, and an email. And so a soft launch is underway. This is currently live, so you can go on our website and sign up for these things as we speak. This has been it will now become more of a formal launch now that y'all are aware of it. So after this point, I will start pushing it out via social media to say this is really happening, but I wanted to come in front of you first and let you know where things stood before that started. Do you have any questions regarding the mass notification system at this point.
So we just go to the website and there'll be a link?
That image that you see is on the home page, the one on the
Gotcha.
right-hand side. Or you can go on your phone and search Alert Me, and you can download it that same way onto your smartphone
Great.
and sign up that way.
Super, thank you.
Alert me.
Alert me.
Yep.
So you just Google, I'm not real good, you just Google alert me.
Well, you can
You,
download
on your
Google
phone,
Play.
if
On
you
the
have,
phone.
yep,
Well-
through your app store.
Yeah.
Oh, through the app, oh,
Yep.
I don't know how to do that, okay.
Yeah.
I
I'll
can
bring it
help
in,
you.
you can help me.
So let me mention that. That's a piece I was going to mention after. But I am looking to host public meetings in this room that any resident can come in. I'll have laptops available that if they don't have access to those tools, they can come in here and I can show them how this works. I don't want anybody to feel lost. I want them to feel as though they're able to engage. I'm hoping to do that in October. We have a lot of website stuff going on right now, but October slows down a little bit, that we can set a time in the evening that people can come in and we'll have the tools available that even if they have a smartphone and don't know how to use it, I can guide them through that process.
Okay.
So, any questions related to Mass Notify?
Thank you.
No, that's
Sure.
good.
So the next piece is kind of exciting because I don't know if you knew about this, but the sewer department and I teamed up to create what's called Lower Paxton at Work. This is just a quick glimpse. Brad, if you wouldn't mind clicking and bringing up lowerpaxtonatwork.com so we can show them the full site. The sewer department for a few years has been hoping to have a site where people can go and learn about the mini basin projects. And I thought this would be a great place to also put our future stormwater projects. So this is completely dedicated just to those items. And this link will be included in letters that go out to our current mini basin residents that are getting work done, that they can go on and see timelines, that they can go on and see project contacts. So if you look at this, you'll see across the top, sanitary sewer, stormwater fee info. Brad, if you click on sanitary sewer, what comes up is the different project locations, and if you scroll down at the bottom of the page, you can actually download project at a glance, and it tells you about what type of work is being completed. It gives you the grading and seating policy that's distributed to residents, so if they lose it, easy access on a website. There's also contact information. This actually tells you when you open the document what you would call the person for. Why would you call Jim Wetzel at operations? Why would you call Bill Weaver? Why would you call 911? So it's a very complete, comprehensive document that people can get all the information they want. So if you click on the, go back up to the top and click on stormwater, this is where we will post images from the upcoming stormwater projects. Our current Forest Hills project will be included on this page so people can see the steps that are happening. When Stonebridge starts, they'll see images here and kind of keep them up to date on what's happening. Please don't worry, though, that this will be all transferred to the new website in January. We'll still have access to this link, and it will still contain this information and be updated, but it will also appear on our news site, so in both places. But the idea of the sewer department having their own link was really important to them. Susquehanna Township has it, I think Derry Township. So I think they felt a little, behind on the times, so I tried to bring them current. So this is a GoDaddy, super inexpensive, quick solution for that department. So they will be using this and putting this, as I mentioned earlier, into the letters to the current mini basin residents that are part of the current project. So it's currently live. It can be used, and
So when I was yammering on about, any photos and we have to talk about the projects, you were secretly doing this.
Correct.
the whole time. And you let me yammer on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You let me hear it.
I like doing it anyway, but this is
Always happy to listen.
this is fabulous. This
Very
is great
clever.
because we're doing so much, and we're hitting people with so much information over the last really 2 years, but it's been escalating over this last year.
Yeah.
Introducing a new concept, a new fee, a new understanding of things that used to come out of their general taxes and now
Right.
they're paying for, and trying to show them
What they're paying for.
concrete and what's going on and why we're doing it. It's a constant educational process, and this is wonderful. This really is.
Thank you. So tell your friends, Lower Paxton at Work. We can share that. And the sewer department's ready to launch and use it as
So
well.
that'll be on their sewer bills when they get it, they'll
Yep.
have that.
Yep.
Okay.
So next steps. We, as I mentioned earlier, residents, I'll make a public meeting that residents can come and learn about the Alert Me app and how to sign up for that. Continue updating the list in Civic Ready. I have, Parks and Rec, what does that mean? Do we need to make it the topic different? I'm going to dive into that a little bit more in depth to see what those lists should include. The next step after that, create templates for staff. The sewer department might send out regular messages to certain neighborhoods, creating that content for them and ensuring that it's grammatically correct and those types of things so that they can use it on a regular basis. And also just relaying this new Lower Paxton at Work to the Mini Basin residents. So that's what's happening in my world on top of doing the website and other day-to-day activities. But do y'all have any questions about?
Just a quick question,
Yeah.
Leanne. Just so currently, when people, there is, we do highlight, notify me, like when we go to the township homepage, notify me, click on that. You get the Civic Ready banner, you click on that, and then it's more or less, you got to start setting up your account. At some point, we'll provide more context for that, or
So this was my soft launch. It's available, it's live,
Right.
but I wanted you all to be
right.
aware of what the steps were. Now we'll go to that, okay, step 1 is this, step 2 is
So
this.
there'll be a landing page
Yes.
that explains it.
Yep.
And probably we'll have links to the apps maybe there, links
Right.
to the Google app. So
Yes.
for Mrs. Lindsay and others who
She
are
could go to the
wondering-
website, click
Well,
on it.
no.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm learning.
Yes.
I did try to do the Civic Ready, and I got a little confused, so they sent me a new password, so I'm working on it. I haven't hooked up
this is
yet.
very
but I'm
important
working.
for us to remember.
Right.
I'm
So
working
there'll
on
be a
it.
landing page that'll
Yes.
walk them through it in addition to
Correct.
everything else we're doing. And probably, I don't know what it takes to get the news folks in here other than controversial topics. But I think this is probably somewhat
Yeah.
unique in this region.
Absolutely.
And, will we try to reach out to the media and generate some interest that way?
Now that y'all are aware of it, yep. I think I wanted you guys to know where things stood first before I move forward with any grand
I know.
announcement.
I'm asking you
So-
things you already kind of know, but just because I happen to have it
Yes.
right in front of me. I
Yes.
understand that.
Yes. Would you like to talk about it to the media?
We'll talk about it, I'll yammer.
Okay.
Leanne, just a quick question.
Sure.
With the Civic Ready app that you're going to advertise and then provide training in service, which I think I applaud you, at least have the opportunity for people from the community to come in and sit down and do a hands-on, if
Yeah.
you will. Do you know at this point, or is that still too far out, to know when those dates are? And then all the second part of that is, how are you going to publish and get that information out to our community to say, we have an LP app, we're going to help you put it on. If you need that assistance, here's the date, time, and place that we're going to be running 1 or 2 workshops. And for those of you who are really challenged, we have the opportunity for one-on-one. I just added the last part of that
If
comment.
that's what you would like, I'm happy to do that. I think what we're going to do is kind of a twofold. Because our next paper newsletter does not go out till the winter edition, I'd like to be able to include information in there. So I think December and January I'll host them, even though I'd like to launch it in October to get it up and running. December and January are more timely because people who don't have access to the internet and only receive our paper newsletter, that's how they're going to get word that we're doing this.
Okay.
So I'm open to multiple dates, and I'm open to, as you said, one-on-one. This is important to me. I want people to use it, understand it, and be engaged. So whatever it takes.
Yeah. I think you're going to have 3 basic groups. I think you're going to have the group that's very technologically astute, and we'll put it on immediately and move on.
Right.
Then you're going to have the middle group that says, well, I think I can do this, and some of them will be successful, others will fail. And then you're going to, and they'll come,
Right.
but they're only going to need minimal help. And then you're going to have group 3. And that's the group that says, how do I put an app on my phone?
That's me.
So, and that's what you're going to have to, hold hands. And I think that's why the in-service is a hands-on in-service, I think is
most welcome, I think would be welcomed by those individuals who feel that they are technologically challenged, yet they know that they have support and they can go someplace and get the support rather than being embarrassed to say, oh, I don't think I'll even do it because I don't know how and I don't want to ask someone. So thank you for providing that opportunity.
The other part of that, you're welcome. The other part of that that's really neat is, I'll use a senior citizen for example. If they don't have the internet or a smartphone, they can pick up the phone and call me and say, Leanne, sign up my landline. You know, that the robocalls will go to their landline. So
Exactly.
there are so many options with this tool. It's really, really neat. So people are not obligated to have technology.
Maybe too, you could visit the senior center. or
Yep,
with the
I talked
Friendship.
with Mary Lytle
Yeah.
about this.
And then my
yep.
next question, we have a sewer bill that goes out the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
You know how sometimes there's stuff in there, you know, like about the Friendship Center, all different. with
Yeah,
the
I
sewer
create
bill.
that content. for
Okay, so I
this
was
one,
wondering
too.
maybe if you could put it in there also, you know, about your meeting in December and January. Yeah.
If you're ready and if you know, you're gonna know the dates and stuff, I don't wanna rush.
Yeah, well,
If
once
you're
you
not-
find, you know, if she knows what the dates are, she could put it, could put it in there, so.
And for those first two groups that Gary mentioned, would our e-newsletter help at all? Well, you said,
They've actually automatically been added into the Alert Me app, so they'll get a notification the first time we send one out that says, hey, you're a part of this, you can opt in or out, but they're my test group.
oh, okay, so so an e-news will go out, or it'll go out, it'll go to their phone
It'll go
first?
to their email saying, you've been signed up for the Alert Me app because of your use of the e-newsletter, and
Okay.
they can, want to keep it, or no, don't want to.
Awesome.
So Leanne, you can do multiple choices if you want it to go text, email, more than one.
Yep, landline, or all, whatever,
All.
yeah. You can hear my voice and be bombarded with all the messages. Yeah. Any other questions?
Good job.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
A pleasant surprise, too. That's nice to have. Thank you, Leanne.
That was almost as good as Santa Claus.
No dancing gingerbread people, but that's okay. All right, we now need to take action on bid for the Friendship Center Natatorium Water Slide Project. Mr. Godshall.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So the township held public bid openings on August the 6th for the rehabilitation of the Friendship Center Natatorium Water Slide, during which only one bid was received. This bid was from Greenland Construction Incorporated, and it was in the amount of $282,000 and was in order with no irregularities. This project was slated to be funded through the receipt of county gaming grants, grant funds, and private donations as well, of which the township was awarded less than the requested allocation through the county, and we did receive $110,000 from the county. The original cost estimate for the project from HRG was $150,000. So at this time, due to the project funding availability and the fact that we only received one bid to evaluate, staff as well as the township engineer recommend that the board reject this bid from Greenland Construction and reevaluate the scope of the project moving forward.
Okay, any questions?
Brad, we were over there last year and toured that slide and did crawl up to the top, and it was in pretty bad shape. Are we still using it, or is it blocked off?
So I believe it still is in operation.
Yeah, it's still being used.
Right.
It's the
There,
one- I was there last.
Okay.
we have received word from the engineer that, although it doesn't look particularly aesthetically pleasing, it's not in any type of
So there's no safety
structural
issue.
right,
Okay.
right
Still
deficiency.
functional, but
Correct.
they're certainly using it.
Correct.
I just wanted to make sure, because when we were there, it wasn't too good. I just wanted to make sure that there's not a safety issue with it.
Yes, Mr. Wolf waited till we were all at the top of it to tell us that there
Yeah.
was an issue
Yeah.
with it, which was a little suspicious, but, all right, so
I have a-
unfortunately, we need to take a motion to reject this bid, and then we're going to reexamine the project.
I have one
Rebid it,
more.
I assume?
I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So when we purchased that slide, are those people still in business that was purchased from?
Ooh, I'd have to get an answer on that one.
Why are
That's
you
the
looking at
original
me?
slide, right? The original slide, Gary?
That is the original
That's what I'm
slide,
asking.
yes.
It is the original slide, so it's
It is
20
the
years.
original
Sure.
slide,
Okay.
yes.
So those, I don't know where they got it from, if they're
Warranty
still
on
in
that?
business.
That's-
If we do, I would assume that it is
Long
expired
gone,
since
long
it's,
gone, yeah.
the center's been there.
Yes.
I have a question. Brad, do you know, inasmuch as there was a grant from the county and we have to reassess the project, what happens to the money from the county? When does it have to be committed? So yeah, if a time frame, then the assessment's going to have to be done very quickly in order to take advantage of the money that we already have received. So I just want to make sure that somebody's watching. I don't want to lose the money that's already been awarded.
Right. Yeah, we have 3 years to utilize that grant.
Oh, okay.
We have already begun drawing down some funds from it through engineering studies that we did on the structure.
okay.
So we are in compliance with the grant regulations as it stands. But so we had a meeting with HRG to determine next steps, and we are going to reach out to some other agencies. USDA has some grant funds available for recreational facilities and things like that. So we're going to continue to try to attract other grant funds, and then also reevaluate the scope of the project itself.
Okay. I was just concerned about the time frame. I'm accustomed to working with grants that are only good for a fiscal year, and if you go beyond that, you have to file addendums and all kinds of additional data with the federal government. But this isn't federal, this is county.
County,
So, but if we have a 3-year grant, then that buys you sufficient amount of time.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we deny or reject the bid that has been presented by Greenland Construction as recommended by Mr. Gutschall.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded by 2 people?
Actually, it was 3.
3? Oh, okay.
On top of it.
Well, somebody, who's going to be the official seconder for
Probably
the
Mr.
minutes?
Judd.
Mr. Judd, okay. Seconded by Mr. Judd. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That takes us to improvement guarantees, et cetera. We have one reduction in bond before us for Kendall Oaks Phase 4. Seems to be fairly routine. Any questions?
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. And do we have any board comments or announcements?
I have some. On Sunday, Mr. Zumas, Mr. Henry, and myself attended Faith Emmanuel Presbyterian Church. They had a church service in the morning for our first responders, for police, fire, and ambulance, out on the lawn. It was a beautiful day, and I want to thank Pastor Spooner and the congregation for inviting us. After there, we went on to the Linglestown football game, which is now called the CD Rams, for the dedication of the new bleachers. As you recall, a couple months ago, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Sheeler donated a generous sum of money to replace the bleachers at Coons Park there at the football field in honor of their grandson. So we had a special dedication there, and they gave us a Central Dauphin Rams football helmet that we can put in the case.
We have
out.
props too.
Yeah, that we can put in the case out front. And on behalf of the board, again, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Sheeler for their generous donation. And I want to thank Mr. Klein, our Public Works Director, and his employees. They did a wonderful job. And for Terry Bucknight for coordinating everything through the Parks and Recreation. So it was a good Sunday. We were together a lot.
It was a very nice day. A lot of
Very
very
nice,
positive things happened.
Yeah,
The weather certainly cooperated.
it did.
It did, yes.
Yep, it did.
Mr. Chairman, also, inasmuch as I know Gary Sheeler and have known him for a number of years, I'd like to also make a public comment in regard to what he and his wife did this time. By stepping up and providing this contribution, when Gary and I first talked about this, and Gary said that he wanted to do this, I encouraged him, but however, he said he wanted no credit for this. He wanted to do it anonymously. I told Gary that probably would never happen. But the fact is that he did make the comment that he said, if by making the recognition for this, he said maybe others in our community would also step forward and provide opportunities for our young people. And I thought, that's so typical of Gary Sheeler. So thank you, Gary.
Yes.
I can just add one more thing. Just a reminder, this weekend, the Paxton Fire Company will be having their craft and their mum sale on Saturday from 9 to 2. So if you want to help the volunteer firefighters out, they're out on Johnson Street.
Okay. Any other board comments?
We just need the Sheilers to sign the helmet.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't have a Sharpie that day, so we do need to get them to do that before we put it in the,
I can take care of that.
okay, that would be
Um,
great. Do you have a Sharpie?
No, but I have contacts with Gary.
Oh, okay.
He has a chisel and a hammer.
I'm not going to go there. Mr. Manager, Brad, anything else?
Nothing, sir.
Okay, hearing nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn? Our next board meeting will be held next Tuesday, September 17th at 7 p.m. right here in this room. Now, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. A second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.